Alright, to-do list for the truck. Drain coolant, spark plug, some wires, air filter, wing nut. There's a lot more, but that's it. Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be video number 2 on the series of the 1990 Chevy Silverado build, the OBS build that I'm trying to do. If you've seen the previous video, you kind of know what's going on, but if not, just a really quick recap is I bought this truck and I'm trying to build it, point blank. There's a couple of issues that we're looking into, obviously tune-ups and stuff like that, but I want to get into detail in this video. It's kind of showing you kind of what I've done so far and the issues that I've seen so far, and hopefully how I'm tackling them. And maybe this can help your video. So I mean, maybe this can help you out. So yeah, this video will help you out, if possibly. I don't know. All right, so here is the 1990 Chevy Silverado. It is again a work in progress. The lighting is not so great, which I'll get a flashlight right now. And again, it's a 350 engine. So yeah. Alright, so really quick recap. Again, there's a little bit of talking involved. The truck didn't want to start at first, so we went ahead and replaced the fuel pump, fuel filter, then got it to turn over, and changed the oil out, drained all the fuel from the tank. Again, the truck's been sitting here for about 10 years, and drained the fuel that was in there, replaced fuel pump, fuel filter, and then also looked into the coolant, looked into the transmission fluid, checked all the fluids, everything's good, got it to turn over. So now that it's turned over, one of the issues that I had was smoking out of the tailpipes. As I was revving it, I actually took it out for a drive around the block really quickly, and then smoke everywhere, just smoking. Now that could be done because I did add seafoam into the gas tank, and I did add seafoam into the oil reservoir. So I was hoping again that the seafoam that's the cause of the issue of the smoking. Another fear, the number one fear that I had was freaking blown head gasket. So yeah, after running it for a while, seeing all the smoke, let it sit for a while, and then I end up doing the symptoms, checking the symptoms that normally you would get with a blown head gasket. Would possibly be oil, checking the oil, which would be milky on the dipstick, milky oil, and I didn't have that. Another thing is when you start the engine, you basically open the radiator cap and see if you see any bubbles. Alright, so right now I'm not seeing any bubbles coming from the radiator. That's a good sign. Again, I didn't see that, so that was super positive in my head, because again, I was thinking about just changing. I'm talking about like mentally. We're replacing the whole freaking head and head gasket and just going deep in there. Again, it's 10 plus years, but luckily it's running. But again, we still had that issue. So a couple of things that I looked into, obviously the Google web, and obviously YouTube, and a lot of things that kind of came into place was changing the O2 sensor. So what I did is, after a while, after running it, I did get a check engine light. And so as you do the check engine light test on a Chevy Silverado, it's basically you have to do a jumper. It's not just a plug and play deal, which I thought it was going to be easier than that, but yeah, it's you have to do a jumper, and then it has an indicator light. And so the code that I was getting from the indicator light, you Google it and you can watch videos on that. But anyways, you Google it, the code that I was getting was 45. And on that, 45 meant it was the O2 sensor. And the O2 sensor, if you look at the code, it also said the fuel is running rich. So that being said, I had a couple of issues that I wanted to see, and after doing the research on Google, whatever, a couple of things was the O2 sensor, so I went ahead and replaced that. Then I also replaced the coolant temperature sensor, which is on the intake. Here's a video on that. All right, so the O2 sensor is located on the exhaust manifold, and it should be right there. I don't know if you guys can see that really well, but it's basically a one pin cable that goes up here, and so that's it right here. And I'm tapping it right here, and so again, it's on the exhaust manifold on the drive side. Then also the coolant temperature is the one that I'm replacing is actually right here, right on top of the 350 5.7 liter engine. And yeah, so I swapped that out. The reason why I swapped in that video right there, just went ahead and changed those out. Still had the same issue, smoke on the outside, and after running it for about 30 minutes, it continued the same thing. It's just the check engine light would start pop back up, and fuel too rich. So now what do I do? So now I went to look into the fuel injectors, and the fuel injectors is I posted a video on that actually yesterday, and I went ahead and just videoed that and seen it, and maybe the fuel injectors were bad. They were just feeding too much fuel. One of the symptoms that I had too was every time I started the truck, it would just smell. The smell of fuel was just everywhere. And yeah, it's in the garage, but I was able to pull it out, and yeah, the fuel smell was everywhere. So I was pretty positive, and I made the right decision, which is pretty costly. Was I went to go purchase some new fuel injectors. It's just basically fuel injectors. They were leaking by, they were dripping and causing too much fuel. So that's one of the main issues. After I did that today, is it actually sounded awesome, purring. So it was just a don't. And another thing was before it was just don't. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what I do. But anyways, yeah. That's how it sounded, and now today is basically where we're at. So there's a lot of things that I want to do, obviously cosmetic wise, but just to get the engine to where it's at, and clean up, and hope that the seafoam does its job and clean up everything, and that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, anyways, just wanted to do a little recap on the video, and then that's just up. Alright guys, on the next video I will be posting a video of new headlights on the truck, so stay tuned and we're going to see what it looks like with new headlights. Thank you for watching.